Ba bum 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 ba-dum bum bum ba ba bum 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 diddle-a-doo. Ba bum bum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum bum bum. Evening, folks. Evening, Del.
Hello.
Hey.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, mate. Yeah. I apologise about the darkness. I think because the last time, 2 streams ago, I think it was when I was doing Lawn Boys post, the Christmas Eve one. It looks like it looks like I was getting interrogated with the police. It was like really shiny looking. So what I've done is I've got StreamYard. You can turn it into dark mode, so everything's now black, which means everything's quite dark.
Oh, do you know what? I've never been able to work that out. I haven't got mine in dark mode, which is why it lightens up my face.
Aye, wait a minute. Where is it? Style.
So I turn my light off like that. You can see it coming on and off.
Yeah, yeah. Is it in? You know what? I think, see, when you first set it up, when you're going into it, I think it gives you the option for like style or something. I'm looking at the side here, media, backgrounds, banner, blah, 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 blah. These backgrounds. There is an option to make it black. Yeah, there is an option.
Not to worry. I mean, I don't know whether that's for the people. You know, at the end of the day, that might be your side. But when you send me a link, I've got very few options. And
I think you'll find when you come to do your next live stream, you'll there is an option. I managed put this way. I figured it out, so it'll be there. So anyway, listen, Happy New Year, folks. Glad it's over. I'm not. Well, you and I were chatting on the phone yesterday. I think it was. Like a lot of people, I think you get to a certain age. Christmas is for families. It's for children. For people who live on their own or whatever it is, it's not as much fun. And I think as you were alluding to, for 5 hours. Did I say 5 hours? That it's not what it was. It's not what it was. It's become far too commercial. Did I say 5 hours? Yeah, it's become far too commercialised and all that bollocks. But yeah, did you have a nice one anyway, mate? I know you've told me that already. But
I think I had a better Christmas than I did last year. Last year was, well, you know, the year before, should I say, was pretty poor. And this year, I mean, I actually did a special on Christmas Day showing some presents that I'd got. Literally, I have just one from my mum, and usually it's money, so there's nothing to open. Do you know what I mean? And here's all these YouTube videos going, oh, this is what I got, this is what I got, and I'm going, yeah, bastards, yeah. I got
Did you get my email, by the way? You got my email, yeah?
Did I get yours? Sorry.
Did you get my message that I sent you?
Yeah.
There is something incoming. I did eventually get an email saying it had been dispatced.
Anyway, I mean, just to put a laugh on that, I thought it might turn up Tuesday. Do you remember? Do you know that? See you next. I thought it might arrive Tuesday, but it didn't. No.
Well, it should. It's a nice wee gift that's going to arrive later on anyway. But anyway. So you're. I don't want to take away anything from your. Sorry, although I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at you. I'm actually just. I'm just hastily filling in the little. I'm putting in my little thumbnail and all that bollocks. And let's.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a bad side. I mean, on Christmas Day, on New Year's Day, the oven stopped working. So
on New Year's Day, really? Oh,
now we're trying to work out what to do, because it works for half an hour and then switches off. And when I went on the internet, it said that's probably the temperature sensor or something protecting itself. It's like a circuit that says, "Oh, I'm too hot. Stop, turn myself off." I thought it might be the timer. I thought I might have accidentally touched that timer thing, that little clock thing, you know, so that it just keeps switching itself off because it's getting round to the. But neither of us know how the cooker works, because it's a 25-year-old cooker. Can't find the instructions. Don't even know what model it is.
Oh, right.
My dad kept all of the books. We don't know where they were, where
What
they are.
about, is the front of the cooker quite distinctive? Because you'll be amazed.
It just says Electrolux, and it's green, and it's one of those ones that fits in with the panels and everything. You know,
because Lee bought this. She had this. Oh, there we go. Oof, that's a bit bright. I'm not lucky enough to do. Lee had this little, but not a brooch. It's just a little, I don't know, the fucking thing in a spit string around her neck, whatever it was. It wasn't an expensive brooch, and she lost it. And she went, "Oh, I wish I could find it. I said, "Where did you get it from?" She goes, "I got it from like a car boot sale for like 10 pence." I'm like, "Oh, Christ, what's the chances of that?" And what I then did was I had a picture of her, and I zoomed in on the brooch thing, and I used Google Lens, and I managed to find one on eBay.
Yeah. I do know that AI can be useful.
It can be useful.
You know, I mean, certain tools. So, I mean, yeah, I could do that. I mean, I just went on and put Electrolux oven that keeps switching off after 30 minutes, and it basically came up with a load of people saying, "Yeah, and there's a circuit and a temperature sensor and blah 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 blah." And I was just going, right. So there's one thing, but the next thing is, who do you bloody ask to fix it? I've got no Yellow Pages. We haven't had a Yellow Pages book in God knows years. There's Yell.com, I suppose, and all sorts of stuff, you know. And of course, my mum, you know, I can't go to my mum and say, "Mum, look at the Yellow Pages." She's 80 something, you know, so I've got to do it all, and I'm just trying to find. Have you got
an air fryer at all?
No, that's what I mean. We've got nothing like that. We've got a fridge freezer where all the drawers are cracked. We've got a microwave oven that's 20 odd years old, and that's probably the next thing to go. The kettle was starting to leak water, but I was glad that I bought one of those. Those, instead of buying a kettle, you can buy those things that are hot water that pour just the right amount of water for a cup of tea. You know, because my mum, I didn't want to lift heavy kettles. So we've got one of those. But my mum doesn't like things on the top of work things. She wants them like the cooker inside, you know, and she has all the work, you know. So she doesn't want all these fryers and things and cappuccino makers and everything all cluttering up the whole of the top.
She would take my kitchen then.
Yeah, I know. I said to her, I wanted to buy one of these. What are they called? Knife things that sharpen the knife as you put them back in the holder. They're like shark things.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, a set of knives, and it sharpens the knife in the actual unit as well, rather than buying a sandstone and doing it all. They're about 110, 120 quid. I went there, sod that.
Jesus, I'll tell you what. I didn't even know this existed. I'm away on holiday with Lee next Wednesday. We're going to Benidorm for a week. Apparently, it's meant to be. It's not like the one that you've heard all about in the 80s. It is meant to be a lot nicer. So, but so we're going there because we were planning to go in September, and then I think we had weddings and that, and then it's we're going to October. And before we knew it was like, do we go in December? And I'm like, I'm not going on holiday in December. So let's just leave it to January, so we've got something to look forward to. But anyway, she was telling me yesterday that as you do when you're lying in your bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you think, I wonder if Amazon sell these, and you're like, what? She said you can actually get headphones that like translate on the fly. So if somebody says something to you in Chinese, it'll then tell you in like English in your ears.
Then aren't they linked to your phone? I thought those.
There will be. Yeah, I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, it's effectively. I mean, Google, whatever it is, Google Translate kind of does that.
I'd have liked that when I went to the Dominican Republic. I went there in November, years and years back, but that would have been handy on that. So,
well, if you do get your arse up to Scotland, like we were talking about the other day, then you might want to get one for Scotland.
I went to
Jimmy. How's it going, Jimmy? You all right the new? Aye.
I really want to do it because I told you it's one of my bucket list things is to have Hogmanay in Scotland, because I mean it's like anything. I've never wanted to go to London to see the fireworks. It's never been appealed to me. But because I was a whiskey drinker back in the years, you know, years and years ago, to actually go to Scotland and have whiskey on New Year's Eve, that's sort of like I'll do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm saying here live in front of witnesses, you are welcome to come up here next year.
It'll happen
see me.
now
I know.
that I feel a lot better,
Yeah.
you know, and my sort of opinion on life has sort of like changed a little bit. You probably noticed that on the phone call. Actually, it's
You
I've
know
got a
what?
different outlook on life to go and do a few more adventurous things further away. But it's still a worry about my mum leaving her by
Well,
herself.
I was gonna say that. You know what, mate? I think there has been so much tragedy and God knows what else has been going on. And I mean, it's not even the last year. People go, "Oh, 2024 was shit." Yeah, for you personally with health issues, it was shit. But fucking light, you know, we none of us know when our expiry date is. So,
No,
you know, make the most of it. Make the most of it, mate.
that's
You
it.
know,
Never wait
I know,
around for
I
something
know,
like a medical thing to happen to you. I mean, it's just
I
that
know.
it's like when I'm sure you appreciate this when you're in your youth, you thought, I've got years to go. Don't need to worry about that. I'm only in my whatever it is. I've got another 40. Well, that
I know.
suddenly ended bloody quick. Do you know what I
Suddenly,
mean?
yeah, you get to from like 0 to 21-year-old, your life is like your life seems to take forever. You know, you can't wait for birthdays. Your first 20 years of your life is like the longest it'll ever take, and then between 21 and now, it just goes boof. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like I said, in my 30s, because I wasn't on a big wage, I could I can it was like I lived month for month on wage, so it was like, when's my next pay packet? When's my
yeah,
next
yeah,
pay
yeah,
packet?
yeah.
12 of them go, and basically there's a year,
I
and
know.
I was doing, and you just do that in your head, it's just bad.
It's the truest thing though. The older you get, a year just flies in the blink of an eye. It's like really.
Yeah.
Mental. Anyway, I'm going to talk. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in tonight. I've got a couple of things. In fact, Ava actually showed me this. I'm not really. I don't keep up to speed with like new things about the scene. But Ava showed me a video of a new Atari handheld.
All right.
There's. I don't know whether it's probably one of these. Well, it's probably bloody AI that's manufactured this video. But there's a trailer that she showed me, and it's by Atari. Apparently, it's an Atari. I've not even got it there. It looks like a Switch. It's a Switch, but
All
it's
right.
official. It's supposed to be an official Atari.
It doesn't look like an Evercade. Then it's actually does look like a Switch.
You know. Is it not arcade? Is it arcade?
Is it then? Is it their new 7600, but with a screen?
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, you see, they just brought they brought out this 2600 plus, and then they brought out a 7600 plus that also plays 2600. It plays actual cartridges. Rabbit actually showed off his. He was really impressed with it, and he attached his Mad Cat wheel to it and plays and all that sort of stuff. And they did a 7600 earlier last year. And I heard that they were doing a handheld version, but I didn't know.
Oh, it might well be that. It might well be that.
I don't follow closely Atari more, but I should do.
Well,
I should do really.
They're not really. It's name only, isn't it? Atari.
No, yeah, and that's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons. I mean, at the end of the day, if we look back at Atari, I think they gave up the ghost really. They rested on their laurels too long on the 800. They really did rest on their laurels. Didn't really want to extend anywhere until the ST came out. All of those XL models were really just based on 1979 technology. You know what I mean? They didn't really extend on anything. It's almost like when Jay Miner went to, and started to set up the Amiga company.
Of course, he worked in Commodore.
They just basically died. It's like, oh, well, we're not bothered with doing a new chip and all of this sort of stuff. And even when the ST came out, they hurried that out with no sound chip in it. I mean, it's almost like Jack Tramiel was the worst thing that happened for him, even though it wasn't, because Jack Tramiel left Commodore, went to Atari ST,
turned their fortunes around,
brought out the ST,
did
cut price everything, but cut price with all the Commodore engineers going from Atari back to Commodore, because that's all that ever happened. They kept going back and forth between the two companies.
It's mental when you think like when you think back to the sort of early mid 80s, mid 80s, you've got you've got Commodore, you're massive. You've got Atari, Sega. To think that really none of these companies exist anymore, eh? You think how can it just kind of go? How can it go so badly wrong? Eh? It's mental. Eh? Just shows you what kind of cutthroat kind of business the old.
Did I ever show you these? Look, there's home computers collector cards.
What are these like?
Right. This was about $4.99 from a computer museum. Right. It's top trumps with
Oh, seriously? Oh, I like them.
Look, there's the Arcorn Archimedes.
Oh, how cool is that? How many?
It's got, and you can go, what's your processor speed? Then, bugger you then. I got that.
What did you buy them about?
Acorn Atom. I'll give you the link. It was
really
good. It comes from the Centre for Computing History.
Oh, right. Is that the one that's in Oxford?
No, I don't know. I was on the web. I ordered it from the
web. Right. I need to get. You know what we'll do? I'll get myself a set of them, and then we can have a live top trump.
Yeah,
how's that?
It's almost like that. You talk about your book all the time, and I had the same book, that weekly magazine, and basically in the center of it, it had those computers and all of that.
Yeah.
It's that cut into cards.
But quite literally that into cards. I've done that.
And the nice thing is, they put it in an audio cassette case. So you can put it with all your audio tapes for your Spectrum or something. You know what I mean?
Because that's the thing. Well, go and dig out one of them just now. What categories has it got in it?
Have a look. CPU, clock, RAM, resolution, palette, year.
Right. So I would, if I was going to do that properly, I would have, you'd have amount of RAM, you'd have color palette, you'd have sound. You would kind of rate each one of sound. You would have keyboard. You would have games available. You would have game quality. And then you would also have rare ability. So whilst the Jupiter Ace would get annihilated in every single category, it would win. It would get 10 out of 10 for rare ability. So I would increase that. I would have about maybe 6 or 7 different categories for that.
Yeah, quite. I mean, it's still quite good. Palette. I mean, look at that. Acorn Archimedes, 4,096. Look at that. Acorn Atom palette 4.
ZX81 2. Technically, did the ZX81 have more than one color? Was it black, or did it have different greys?
Palette 2. There you go. You were dead on.
So was it white and black? It had.
Yeah. Resolution 32 by 34 characters.
Is that all it was?
Yeah.
God, that's insane.
But look at this. The clock speed is 3 times a Commodore 64.
For ZX81?
Yeah, it's 3.2. It's 3.2 megahertz. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, and a Z80 processor in it. See?
Christ, that's quicker than the bloody Spectrum, is it not?
Yeah.
That's excellent. So it's the centre of computing. Right, fantastic. Of computing, yeah. Brilliant. Excellent.
Yeah, I just thought that was great. I thought that was great. That little thing there. I instantly, as soon as somebody told me about it, I went, oh, I'm ordering that.
Did you see my my little Star Wars thing that I put up on Facebook?
No, but then again, Facebook's not been sending me any alerts. Don't know what's going on with that.
Right, well, a minute. I'm going to go on. I know some people aren't on Facebook. Give me 2 seconds. You keep the folks entertained. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'll go and grab it. Hang on.
I don't know how I'm going to bloody entertain you, but
yeah, crack some jokes or something about Scots people, whatever.
But yeah, I've been having a great new year. I've been watching everybody's videos. I've been looking at LFC's in. Look, I've been looking for your vlog. I hope you're okay, matey. I've been thinking about you when I've been watching the football. My football's been bloody awful with Lampard and Coventry, but interesting about Wayne Rooney and the rest of that. That's been interesting over Christmas. Really looking forward to the darts tonight. That's going to be on at 8 o'clock. Me and my mum are going to be watching that with a nice drink. So, oh look, the main man is back. There you go.
Was that the punchline? Was it right?
Yeah.
Don't know how this.
I was just saying that I was looking forward to the darts and and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah. That's why this is going to be getting finished bang on 8 o'clock. Yeah, this Lee Sunbot with this actually. It was somebody makes them down in Camden. I don't know if it'll work with the microphone, but it's a little Star Wars.
Oh right.
But,
so when you turn that, what does it do?
And you see Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda. Oh, I see. It's a music box. It's one of those.
Right. I'm going to put it up. I don't know if you'll hear this. I'm going to put it up to my face. I don't know if you can hear this.
Yeah. They're brilliant. Because I always wanted. I told my dad years ago when I was trying to learn to play piano, I really wanted one of those pianos that had a sheet of paper in it, and basically it can play all the notes, which is what those things are based on. That's got a little a little set of metal, just cutout bits that are that cut to size, and they've got little sticky bits sticking out of a circle, and you turn it round and it just pricks them like a xylophone, and that's what that thing's doing. They're great. I love those things. Music box things, they're great.
Yeah, I had a comment on a video that what was it again? Oh, it was my sociable soccer video. I had a comment, and what I'll sometimes do is I'll just kind of look at the profile, and the guy that commented is actually a comedian. And if you go into YouTube, he's not done like I think he's been in BBC whatever, but he's actually a comedian. What's his Tom something or other?
What is he, a local comedian too?
I think he's quite a young. I think he's got a young guy. Where did I put it about? Was it in? He's called. Where the hell is he? He is called Tom Mayhew. Mayhew. If you Google him, he's got quite a lot of stuff on YouTube. Interesting. It's interesting how how people come to like leave comments. Have you had any comments from anybody, apart from your kind of friends that you go, oh, I know that person?
I get the odd weird one, that basically has all these emotes and all this sort of stuff, and I've got no bloody idea. But they don't seem like they're trying to advertise anything. It's just I don't understand what they all mean, what they're all talking about.
Yeah, you've heard us talk about one of our friends, Swifto. He's a fellow Scot. Yeah, he does. I mean, honestly, for a young guy, his sense of humour is it's very, very kind of Monty Python. I think he's completely. I don't know what he does for a living, but he's a clever guy. I think I think he suffers from depression a wee bit, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying that if he is watching this, because I know he does watch the channel. But his humour is something else. He does all these. He'll do like kind of play acting. He'll do animations and all that kind of stuff. Like you probably remember my intro from quite a number of years ago where it was like, bollocks. Yeah, he did all that. He does all. I mean, some of his videos are fantastic, but the problem is. He has a YouTube channel for a wee while, and he'll put a few videos, and then he'll take it down, and then he never ever really gets a big following, and he's probably you hear that a lot of the time saying, "Oh, you deserve more subscribers." That guy deserves to have more people watching it. But I noticed he put out a post the other day there saying that following recent like trolls nasty comments. He's finished with YouTube, and he put up one. He said he had one the other day there, and that's him just finished. Just upsets me that not so much that somebody's going to give up what they enjoy. Well, that is upsetting. It's you just have to. You've had bad comments, and I've had bad comments. You've just got to grow a bit. You've got to grow thick skin and just think, fuck you. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. Give it it's amazing because. At the end of the day, when things were happening bad, and they still do. They still happen now. I had to turn around and say, no, I don't want the bastards to win. Why do I want a couple of people that have some sort of grudge ruin everything that I like doing and everything I've set up? I've spent money on my equipment, and I've got a passion for it, which is why I bought the equipment. And then someone comes along and they try to ruin your day, and then they spread that week by week by week. So it's almost like venom being spat at you, and at the end of the day, it can break you down. But I've got some great friends like yourself and a few others that just turn around and say, "Don't let the bastards let you win. Just do what you want to do. Forget about the numbers. Just basically do what you have to do." And because there's a lot of people out there that would be sad for you not to be there. And then I'm reminded with that film, It's a Wonderful Life. What would it be like if you weren't around? Your brother didn't survive, so of course he didn't save that train, and all this sort of stuff. All this sort of like this, because this happened, this didn't happen, and this didn't happen, and this didn't happen. So I just go Sodom. And then I'm back to, it's like a total reset, and I'm going, right, I'm reinvigorated again. Sodom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that.
As easier said than done. I mean, I used to be quite. I suppose I am quite. I wouldn't say I'm not fragile. Is not the right word to say. Quite sensitive, because I would like to think that I'm a likable person. I try and be nice to people, and I think invariably most people do like me. But I've met a few people that it's quite clear that they don't like me, and you kind of take that, why is it? And you try and overanalyze yourself, and you realize, wait a minute, the problem's not actually with me; it's with that person.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do. The problem's not with you. If you were a complete cunt, then you wouldn't be on this channel with me right now. You wouldn't have all your friends that you've got. You know what I mean? So it's just every now and again you'll meet somebody, and for whatever reason, you just kind of you lock horns, and you just have to accept that they might not be a bad person. They might be a bad person, but sometimes it's just not. It's not worth arguing about, and it's like, move on.
Along with all of that reset philosophy that I've been been talking about in my blogs, the other thing I'm going to really concentrate on is not to have foreseeable negativity. Now, what I mean by that is, there's all last year, if you were somebody that wanted to watch a film, you'd hear that Alien Romulus, say, was coming out right in April, and instantly everybody on YouTube goes, "Oh, it's going to be shit."
Yeah.
There's this person in it, not in it. Oh, I've heard all of this about the script being rewritten, all of this reshoot sort of like stuff, and straight away it's like, well, it's a dead film then. Basically, everybody's just jumping on the back. Oh, it's just going to be crap. You can't be Alien. You can't be Aliens. Every film after that's been shit. So this one's going to be shit. And I'm just going, do you know what? I ain't going to do all that anymore. It's just, I am a fan of certain stuff, and I do have expectations. But at the end of the day, you got to give a film a go, and you got to give a game a go. You know what I mean? You don't want all that. Oh, it's written by Denton Designs. Is it? Oh shit! Fuck now, it's coming out.
I remember having not so much an argument. We'll call it a healthy debate, and it was. There's been 2 Ghostbusters film that came out in the last couple of years that had the whatever it was, not the Batmobile, that had the one that came out before that had all the women in it. I remember I knew nothing about that film, and I thought, oh, there's a Ghostbusters film, and I watched it, and I thought that was really, really good. And then I happened to mention it to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, that's absolutely shit." Blah blah blah. And I said, "Oh, really? Why do you think it was shit?" "Oh, I've not seen it, but sorry, you've not seen it? Aye, it's absolutely crap because you've never fucking seen it. How can you say it's shit when you've never seen it? You know what I mean? It's just you say there's just naysayers that will immediately just shoot people down.
I'm hoping anyway that it's not going to happen too much, because I want, just talking about films at the moment, I want there to be more originality and less IP franchise continuation. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of expectation in a Marvel film, and what I'm saying is that that's because there's a fan base of comic readers that read it for 40 years and they want a film that basically is written like the comic, right? So instantly a film comes out and they're going, oh, it's going to be nothing like the comic. It's going to be shit and all of this. But the same thing happens with Friday the 13th, part 13, and all of this sort of stuff. At the end of the day, what we want now is so last year, just out of interest, last year, all the indie films were the best films because they weren't based on anything. There was things like Late Night with the Devil. There was all the Long Legs. There was all Abigail, Megan. All of these films came out. Nobody had heard of them. And everybody went to see them and went, whoa, that's great. And yet they were made on a budget of like 30 million or, like 300 million, should I say?
Yeah.
And all the big budget films, Romulus, Gladiator, cost like 1 billion or something or whatever it is.
Have we actually got to that stage where a film's costing $1 billion? Are we at that stage now?
Wow, what you have to do is that you don't just count the film, you now count the marketing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's all part of it.
And then, of course, all the actors go off to Japan to try and they have to stay in hotels, and so now the marketing budget is as big as the film budget.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that I'm interested more in the indie films that are coming out, and what I'm going to make a concerted effort to do is possibly go to the cinema like once a month or twice a month if I can, and I'm just going to go to the cinema, not knowing what's on, look at the posters and go, I'm going to choose that one. And just take a punt on whether that's good or not.
Yeah.
Rather than go, oh, yeah, I'm going to go and see Snow White, which is all in the news at the moment about how bad that film is going to be without it actually being out. So, you know what I mean? It's one of those films. Live action Snow White. Oh, it's going to have dwarves in it. You can't call them dwarves.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
I mean, when Lee and I are, when I go through to hers or whatever, or she's through here, we'll say, like, what we're going to watch, and we sit. I've got a dodgy Fire Stick. I'll get that out. I've not got a problem with that. Like most people, and so you've pretty much got you've got access to everything. And I'm like, I mean, I just give her the remote control because I'll say I would quite happily sit and watch, I don't know, Ghostbusters or another 48 hours. Oh, I've seen that. She doesn't want it. I don't know what it is with women. When they've seen a film, they don't want to watch it again. Where I'm the complete opposite. I'll think, let's put on Plane, Trains and Automobiles because I know I'll enjoy it. So we'll sit and go out and we'll go, there's nothing we want to watch. It's like we've got the access to every film. There's nothing to watch. So in fact, it was just before Christmas time, a thing popped up on Facebook, and it was like Netflix reveal the 10 best films you've probably never heard of. And what I did was I just took a screenshot of them, and I've only watched one of them. I think there's a couple that I'd already seen. I can't remember what they were. And one of them was it Society of the Snow? I think was that what it was called.
All right.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Well, it's not a remake. There's already been a film based on it, the true story, the Uruguayan rugby team that was in the plane crashed in the Andes.
Ah, right.
And they obviously they had to eat dead bodies to survive.
Is
Alive, I think, still a great film.
Yeah, Alive. That's what I was going to say. Is the one that comes to mind when
it's a reboot of the original story, but it's all in Spanish. The only problem was I don't have a problem watching films with subtitles because I watch a lot. I mean, what have I been watching? We've been watching Landman, which I mentioned to you is the single best bit of TV by a land mile. Landman with Billy Bob.
I'm gonna start watching that tomorrow.
It's fantastic. It's brilliant. We just finished watching Yellowstone. That was the last episode the other day there. So finished watching that. So you're watching all this stuff. It's like in the deep south, and you can't understand a lot of what's getting said. So we tend to have the subtitles on all the time. So I don't have a problem with subtitles. But the only problem is when I was watching that Society of the Snow with subtitles, because it's in Spanish, it's quite a quick language. So it's very much blah, 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 blah. So
Yes.
I was just spending the whole time looking at the subtitle,
Looking
and
at the text and
I
not
was
seeing it. Yeah.
missing what was actually going on in the film. So I reluctantly found an English dubbed one, which
Yeah.
if you get over the, don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to fight?
If you, if you get over that, then the acting, to be fair, the voice acting is actually pretty good. So it didn't take me long to get over it. So I watched that, and it's very harrowing. Probably slightly more so than the original. So there is, as you say, there's so many like indie films. I mean, I'm gonna give you a hard question. If I gave you like you pick whatever director you want, pick whatever actors you want. I'll give you a budget of £10 billion. You go and tell me what film do you want to make? What film do you want to make and see? What would be your best ever film?
Oh, Christ. That's a question and a half.
And it is, but I'm gonna talk when you're thinking about it. I've kind of reached the point with films now. I'm bored rigid with it. I can't be arsed with Marvel films, superhero films.
Yeah.
Every film to me kind of feels the same. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually got genuinely excited about going to the cinema to see a film. I think the films that I enjoy now are generally based on real life things, whether it's set during like the Holocaust or whatever it might be, true stories. I still enjoy watching these. I couldn't tell you the last time. There's no film. There's no film that I can think of that I would like to see. Maybe a I know it's never going to happen. If Steven Spielberg was to get back in touch with what's his name and remake Jaws or something, but do it properly. If they had cutting edge CGI, and I don't mean Indiana Jones and the last whatever it was, I mean CGI that looked indistinguishable from the real people. Yeah, I knew Jaws. That would be I would pay money to go and see that. I'd pay money to go and see a new Rocky, but I know that Sylvester Stallone's past it. But just maybe that's one for your blog rather than answering this. If you want to do that.
No, I mean, off the top of my head, let's see. I'll have a director. So any director, I'll choose Ridley Scott. Actors and actress
can be deceased, deceased or alive.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll choose Anthony Hopkins and Keira Knightley as the actor and actress. I'll have Ennio Morricone doing the score, and the subject would be, I'll call it Pioneers of the Sea, where England ruled the waves, and it sort of like covers a period of where we became
took over the world,
kings of the waves. Like there was a film called How the West Was Won.
A
big period of time through a family that followed that family and all of that sort of stuff. I'll do that. There you go. How's that?
Interesting. Yeah, that'd be a 4.5 hour
epic. At the top of my head, I was writing it down. I was going, really? Right. Okay.
But I think my point is there a film left to be made that you want to see?
Oh, I hope there is. But you're quite right. There's no originality. It's all what happened, I think, in Hollywood is that they started to mix and mingle things, like horror comedy, science fiction drama. They combined all these things just to rough it up a little bit, and then a lot of people that are designated, I only like horror and I don't like science fiction, and I've met a number of people that are like that, go, I ain't gonna watch that, and I go, you are. What? Yeah, it's that crappy stuff that's in space, or it's just a bloke going around with a knife or something. And I'm going, well, look, if you look at life like that all the time, you've got to give things a chance. I mean, at the end of the day, there is some comedy in horror. There is, there is some, if you're looking at science fiction, it doesn't have to be warp speed and stuff that we can't do right now. There's a lot of stuff, I mean, I like I must admit, as I've gotten older, I've liked things like Oppenheimer more. I like more realistic,
Historical
stuff that I've never known before. I didn't used to like period dramas, and I still don't like romantic period dramas. But I do like period dramas where it talks about something that went on, and at the background is all the politics going on. This was the third prime minister in the whole of Britain, and I'm going, bloody hell, can you name that person? I know I bloody well can't. It's all of that sort of stuff.
What I like about obviously sort of technology and is things that I was aware of growing up, like I suppose the Holocaust and the Second World War and things like that, the Titanic. Through sort of technology and what have you, you're able to get things like, what the hell do you call it? Saving Private Ryan. You've got, You've got, what the hell's that one with Liam Neeson, the Holocaust one? Schindler's List.
Schindler's List,
yeah. You've got films like that are, and even dare I say it, I know it's cheesy as fuck, but Titanic. Although you didn't even like Braveheart. I know Braveheart. It's nothing like the truth and all that.
I was going to say about Braveheart. When you were talking, when I knew that you were going to bring that up, I was thinking to myself, why didn't they? When they're talking about Braveheart, you never see Hadrian's Wall, right? Was Hadrian's Wall like it is now, crumbling, just laid flat, or was it actually still sort of like standing a little bit because the Romans decided we're pissing off, right? And that's when it all crumbled down. And who cares about looking at the border and stopping the Scottish coming over and the English stopping the Scottish coming over, which is what the Romans put that up for. Braveheart is set that far back, and I just wondered, you know what? This is the sort of thing. I love the countryside, and I love looking at all of the vistas and all of that, and how it was, with no bloody great big posts sticking out with wires and with electricity channeling along it. I'd have liked to have seen sort of like an image of that, because I keep thinking it looks like the Chinese wall of, the wall of China.
Yeah.
It was a great big massive structure, and now it's nothing.
When was Hadrian's Wall built?
That must have been a big thing, because they were talking about attacking England, and that meant going over that wall.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And I just think all of that is missing from that film.
As I says, I know it's all made up. A lot of it's made up, but at the end of the day, it kind of gives an insight for people what happened. Keith's come up with a good one. He says, Schindler's List isn't an easy watch, but what a bloody good film. I think that is a film that everybody should be made to watch. It should be at school. You must watch that. You must watch it.
It's one of those films that I have to gear myself up to watch.
Yeah.
Because it really is a hard watch. It's a film that had to be made. That's the thing. It's one of those ones where I'm so glad Spielberg did it, because it means that it gives it a bit more clout. And it's one of those things where, I'm sorry, but it did happen. Sod the people that said the Holocaust never happened. Sod you.
Yeah.
And how dare you? You know what I mean? It's you've got to watch that film and know. You've got to put your mindset into it as well. Just imagine if you were there and you were going, right, I'm heading into this barn. And even if you were outside and you weren't, in this case, you weren't a Jew, all of that stuff that was in the air, and you're going, oh, it's snowing, when actually it's all dead skin, right? That's all been burnt, right? Imagine it landing on your hands, how dirty you'd feel. Like, oh, Christ, I've got all this burnt effigy all over my body. I'd be in a shower for about 6 months. I couldn't take it. And that's the sort of thing that comes across with that film. That's how powerful it is.
It's. The Holocaust is a kind of atrocious thing. But then you think, and I'm very much kind of head in the sand. Blah blah blah. I don't want to know about it. If I can't hear about it, it's not going on. And obviously everything that's going on in the world at the moment, and I heard, I just caught a bit of the news, I think it was on the internet actually, saying that the Taliban have now put in new laws against women in Afghanistan. They're not allowed to make any noise, even when they're outside. they could only go out if they really have to. They're effectively being kept as sex slaves, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful. It makes my blood boil, and I just get quite upset when I hear what's going on in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was Ian yesterday. He said, if you want to know about the Holocaust or something sort of similar, a film came out last year called Zone of Interest. That's right. I've got to look for that.
I'll look at that. Listen, I'm going to say
we got 15 minutes. What did you want to chat about?
I want to bring up upbeat slightly, but it's another bit of a moan. Lee's told me I have turned into Victor Meldrew. I just complain all the time. I do. Back in the middle of November, there's a console called the Playdate. That's not what you're thinking about. It's called the Playdate, and it's a small console about, I don't know, maybe that size.
Yeah.
And it's got a little grey screen. It's like monochrome, but it's got a little. It's similar to that. It's got a little thing, and you turn it, and people are writing games for it. Yeah. It's called the Playdate. I saw it a couple of years ago at Play Blackpool, and I kind of, what the hell's that? I goes, that's quite cool. I goes, I'll take that. How much is it? He went, 350 quid. I went, no, I'll not bother. My Jamie Hampshire Juno 6, I've done a few videos. I did a video with him. We're trying to play Flight Path 737.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Juno, Jamie, he's one of his mates. Well, he's a mate of mine. I've not spoken.
Well, you tried it twice, didn't you? You tried to take off once and then land or something. I think.
Yeah, I'll hopefully got Jamie coming back in the channel soon. But anyway, one of our mutual friends, Matt, he's been, I think, developing games for this thing. So I thought, I'm going to buy myself one. I went on and it's like, 300 odd quid. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's too expensive. So I went on to AliExpress, and lo and behold, there's one there. And it was like 92 quid. And I thought, I'll buy it. So I paid that. It's like a tenner postage. So that was like the middle of November. So I've been eagerly tracking it. It's in customs.
Yeah.
And 2 days ago, it said it's now in, what was it? Cleared customs, and then it's now like in local depot or something.
Local depot,
great.
yeah.
I'm going to get it in the next couple of days. So then I finish work tonight, and I find an envelope that says track 48, and it's like that. It's that thick. I'm like, what the hell have I bought? And it's from AliExpress. Thank you. And it says, dear buyer, when you receive this parcel, you will be puzzled. Please don't worry. We are sorry. Due to the limitation of our products, there is no logistic channel that can send to your country. Contacting you on the platform didn't get a reply, so we sent you an empty package to notify you when you see this message. Please apply for a refund for the order. The reason for your request is no longer needed. When we see your request, we will immediately process your refund. So instead of
they spent money on the postage to send you something that actually says we ain't got this product anymore. Or
now,
we're not
I logged into AliExpress tonight to process the refund, and then so I did that, and then there was a button that said contact seller, and I thought I'll contact them, and I just put in contact seller, and the seller had sent me a message about 2 weeks ago saying, you do know that what you've bought isn't the console, it's a protective case for the console. And I'm like, for £110. And if you look at it, because the funny thing is, the picture looks like a protective cover.
Yeah.
But when you go into it, it is so damned misleading. For 100, if it was 20 quid, I'd say, what the hell, that's fine. I get that. It was 92 quid plus 10 postage. So yeah, they sent this from China to tell me that
they could have emailed that basically and not charged anything, with the postage. But now they can turn around and say we sent something to you.
So I then went on to the live chat, and I got talking to somebody, and they're asking me all this gobbledygook, like, have you contacted the logistics company? And I says, no, look, hang on a second. I paid you money. You have sent me this saying that you're not going to get it. This is the parcel. You're not going to get it. You need to apply for a refund. I said, I'm not. I gave you the money. I'm not going to contact logistics.
Yeah.
Because you didn't send it. And I was trying hard to not be too rude, because at the end of the day they could just say, fuck you, and then like you never get the money back ever again. I don't know if anyone in here has had any dealings with AliExpress, like getting refunds.
I have. But
have you had any?
No, only with AliExpress, and the reason for it was I was thinking about doing a YouTube video. There was this big thing last year where AliExpress are very good with fake stuff.
Yeah. Which I gathered that thing I bought was probably fake. Right. Yeah.
And well, I mean, I can show you something right now, but it's Keith does all these little action figures, and I was a bit like, I can't do this. It's too childish, and I've never really been into action figures. But they make these Marvel Spider-Man action figures that cost 150 quid. You know,
for one,
they're bloody expensive, but they're super articulated. You could bend them.
Yeah.
Rather, they got stands. And then you go on AliExpress and you can buy them for £11, and you go, what? £11? What's this? What's this shit? I mean, £120 action figure is now 11 quid or something. How the hell is this, right? And it's because they're all fake, right? So I thought, I'll buy one because I want to know how crap they really are, right? But I was lucky because I bought from AliExpress something called CT Toys, right? And this is now all over YouTube. Everybody knows, and everybody's hurriedly trying to buy these things now. CT Toys, right? What happened was, if one mistake happened on the line that they're making these things from, CT Toys bought them. So they're all actually the original action figures from the actual original molds with the original painting on them. They've gone all the way to the finishing line. They found one thing wrong with it, like the arm doesn't fit quite right, or the arm doesn't lift up to a certain level. They gave them all to CT Toys, and they're selling them, which means that if you're happy to have one thing wrong with it, you've got £120 figure.
And if you're only going to put it on a shelf, then what's the difference, eh?
And if you're just going to have it standing up on a stand, you know, and you're not worried that the leg doesn't move, then you're all right with it. And I bought one, and my God, they're brilliant. You know, you're going, what? This thing here is supposed to be a fake. But now I know the background. So, of course, everybody found out CT Toys. So everybody goes on AliExpress now going, Marvel, CT Toys, Spider-Man. Bang. And they're buying 15, 20 of them at a time.
Presumably they're all sold out now then. Yeah. They're all,
you know what I mean?
Going. Yeah.
And they all come in a box so similar. I mean, the whole box is like almost identical. But that's my dealings with AliExpress, but not anything else. I've been avoiding them like the plague.
I think one of my mates, I think Neil, buys quite a bit of stuff from them. I don't think I've ever had to get a refund. I'm hoping that they'll be true.
Well, I'm thinking that the reason they sent that is because there's some international law that says if you've been sent something, even if it's got a piece of paper in it, then basically they've given you the goods. In other words, they fulfilled that you would get something in the post, and there you are.
Well, if I go into AliExpress now, it says parcel delivered.
Yeah, exactly. See what I mean?
Delivered.
So they can basically say, well, we sent it to you, and you got something, and all of that, and that piece of paper is just enough for them to cover. You got it.
So it's 110 quid. So they better be true on their word.
Which is terrible, isn't it? I mean, that's like just getting That's just like getting, six notes, 5 £20 notes and a tenner, and just saying like to it and go there. Fuck that.
I'll keep you posted anyway.
Please do, yeah.
If I get that. The last one I bought, again, it's just bloody nothing but problems with deliveries. I've got a bit of a thing about these little gaming handhelds, and I saw a YouTube video a couple of weeks ago, and they were all going on about this amber neck, blah 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 blah. So I went on eBay, and they're selling for about 60 odd quid. Went on eBay, and there was somebody selling one brand new for 45 delivered, I think it was. I'm like, oh, I love that. So that was about 3 weeks ago, and I chased the guy yesterday, And then he came back to me today saying, "Oh, Royal Mail said it's lost. I'll just give you a refund." And whilst, that's great that the guy gave me a refund instantly, no problems at all. What annoys me is if you snag an absolute bargain on eBay,
Yeah.
and then Royal Mail lose it. And so, say for example, you pay say that £150 model, you got it for £10, and they lose it. They'll go, "Oh, sorry, there's your £10 back." It's a bit. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's like you asking me to buy you a lottery ticket. The ticket that I buy you is you win £1 million, but then I lose it, and I'll go, "Oh, there's your quid back." It's like, no. It doesn't work like that. What I've bought is worth a lot more than I paid for it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Royal Mail are like, "There's your money back," and you're like, bastards. I mean,
It's almost like the eBayer basically just kept the item and basically said, "No, I think I can sell that later on in about 3 weeks' time." And
it does.
there's your 45 quid back,
Well, it does. In the tracking, it says it was seller dropped off and it arrived at local depot for dispatch. That was on like the 18th of December or something. So that's my last two. You know what it's like. You buy stuff on eBay. It's life would be very, very dull if it isn't thinking, "Oh, I've got a wee parcel coming soon. Oh, that's that thing, whatever it is." So the last two things that I've bought, fucking haven't they got? They've gone.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I did get
almost
that
like
piece of paper.
it's almost like the tides have turned, because I always thought eBay was always in favor of the customer, and now it's all in favor of the seller.
Well, I mean,
I think a little bit anyway, because as a seller, if I sent £180 statue through the post and it broke, and the customer got it, they'd just turn and say, "Well, I want me 180 quid back." I can't tell whether he broke it or whatever it is. All I get is a photograph, and he can show me any broken thing that basically, he could have got from another picture on the internet. Basically, there you are, and he still keeps it and all of this sort of stuff, because he'll say, "Oh yeah, I'll send it back to you if you pay me the money to actually send it back to you." And you're just going, "Well, no, I ain't going to give him 20 quid to send something that's broken back to me," and all of that. So what I'm saying is, it always used to be that way round. What's happened to you there is the seller's winning. "Oh, I sent it to you. You're down on the money. Where's the item?" Do you see what I mean? It's almost like a complete.
Well, he could have sent me that console, but all I actually get is an empty bag.
Yeah.
And the empty bag has gone missing, and then he's still got his console. I'm sure he's genuine enough because he's got good feedback.
Yeah.
He's still got his console, plus he gets the 50 quid refund, and I just get my money back.
Yeah. I just wish there was a book like The Dummy's Guide to eBay or something that says, from the seller's perspective, from the customer's perspective, so I could go, "Oh, he's followed that scam, has he? Oh, yeah, shit bastard." You know what I mean? Because there isn't one, is there? You used to remember the Dummies books. It was like The Dummy's Guide to Wine and all of this sort of stuff.
Last one before it's 8 o'clock. The darts are starting.
Yeah.
Last one. Back in the day, did you ever? I did. Did you ever put something up for auction and then there's 2 minutes to go and you think, "Fucking hell, I'm not selling it for 30 quid," and then you'd get your mate to put a bid in?
No, I didn't, but I didn't have a mate, so
I've done that.
I mean?
No, I've not done it for. I've not sold anything on eBay for absolutely years.
I've been at the other end where I've been watching the clock go down, and I've gone, some bastard always beat me to it, and then I found out it's because they got a bot or something that basically comes in at like 5 seconds to go.
Yeah,
and it recognizes that.
I used to. What do you call it? There was a guy, I can't remember what the hell it was called, Snipe Bot or something like that. It was like Sniper Tool, and it was an app.
That was it. It was a tool. Somebody told me that everybody who wins has got a tool, and it's got all they've done is.
I paid the guy, I think it was like 15 quid for the license, and I'm not kidding. Probably 7 out of 10 auctions I won.
Yeah,
because it would literally you could tweak it as long as you had a rock fast internet. You could set it to like 3 seconds. Boom. It's like that was it.
Yeah,
it was great. But
I didn't know this, you see, and the amount of hours on a Sunday, right? And I was buying these comics, right? I was at the time when I was trying to replenish my comics that basically got burned. Yeah, that's right. I was there on a Sunday, legitimately from 6 o'clock till 11 o'clock from this one buyer that I wanted to buy. And literally, I'd only get about 3 in that whole 3 hours. And if I looked, and at the end, it would be the same buyer that bought a bloody lot, you know, and always beat me by 10 pence or something stupid. And I'm going, you bastard.
There is probably
waste of 3 hours.
I know what I've always been told is no, if you're going to buy if you're going to pay for something on an auction, look for auctions that end at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
And then also never ever sell anything to end at 2 o'clock in the mornings. End it, set it to finish at 6 o'clock on a Sunday night.
That's right.
Yeah.
The amount of things that I've actually bought for literally, and I've actually talked to you about that, and I said I've won this on eBay, and I got it for £5, and it was the starting bid, and the reason for it is because the whole auction ended at 3:30 in the morning. Right, no buggers up. You know what I mean? And it was a UK seller. That's the other thing. You got to remember, it's got to be a seller in your own country that set it at the wrong time to end.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
That's right. That's
no
right.
Point doing international, because at 3:30 that's something like 8 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock in the evening in America. You know, bang, they get it.
Right, listen, folks, we're going to wind this up because I want to watch the darts. Dale's going to go and make his mum a cup of tea so she can settle down and watch the darts. Listen, Dale, thanks very much for taking part. It's always great to see you, man. Thank you very much to everybody that's it's just warming up as well, up to 21 people. Sorry, folks, you need to go and watch some other shite. I'm going to head off. I will be along on Sunday night, 7 o'clock until 9 for some games and what have you. Till next time, folks, as always, take it easy. Thanks for watching.